Yasu Malagedo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Coronavirus. Ladies and gentlemen, on a hot summer day, I just like to chill outside, soak up the rays. People that know me know that I'm not really a beer drinker. I mean, I like vodka, rum, whiskey, the harder stuff. The stuff that becomes even better with age. But on a hot summer day, there's nothing better than an ice cold Corona. And it is a beautiful beer. It really is. Remember those commercials? It just shows the one person there and then the other person there, and they're just laying on the beach doing nothing. That's the whole concept of drinking a Corona. You do absolutely nothing. But you know what even makes a Corona better? A lime. You take a lime, you put it in the beer, and usually what I do is I take a sip and then I put it in the beer. You put your thumb on top of it, turn it upside down for a second, and then put it right side up again. You got to make sure not to do it too quickly or else the shit explodes. But after that, it's a beautiful tasting beer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that beer is ruined for me because of what's been going on recently in the news. Now, the Corona, beautiful beer, and the coronavirus have nothing to do with each other. I just thought it'd be something to start off with as a subtle intro. But there's nothing funny about this virus. If anything, to be completely honest with you, I don't know much about it. I'm from a city called Toronto, aka the mega city, aka where Drake is from. And for some reason, I go on the subway, the streetcar, anything but an actual car, because every time I bring up insurance, they always know I'm close to Danforth, and then my shit goes up. And anyways, that's a whole different story. The point is, every time I go outside, the last couple weeks, I'm seeing nothing but people dress up as ninjas. Now, everyone's got that mask on, I get it. You're going to want to keep yourself safe from the virus or getting a cold or the flu, or I totally understand. I get it. But I'm seeing more and more of this shit. Who's ever supplying these masks must be making a killing. I don't know much about it. I don't know. So what do? I sit down on my used to be comfy couch and look up the meaning of the virus, the coronavirus, on good old Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. A coronavirus is one of the number of viruses that cause diseases in mammals and birds. In humans, the viruses cause respiratory infections, including the common cold, which are typically mild, though rarer forms such as SARS, MERS, and the novel coronavirus. The cause of the 2019-20 Wuhan coronavirus outbreak can be lethal. Symptoms vary in other species. In chickens, they cause upper respiratory disease, while in cows and pigs, coronaviruses cause diarrhea. There are no vaccines or antiviral drugs to prevent or treat human coronavirus infections. Oh, that's great news on a Sunday. Like I said, guys, I don't know much about this. I'm learning just as I read here. Fuck. Anyways, coronaviruses are in the subfamily Orthocoronavirinae, in the family Coronaviridae, in the order Nidovirales. Guys, let me just remind everyone, my birthday is coming up, so if anyone is nice enough to buy me a dictionary, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. They are enveloped viruses with a positive sense single-stranded RNA genome and the nucleocapsid of helical symmetry. Like I said, it has to be, you know, in English, the dictionary. I heard the Webster one is pretty good. So, yeah. The genome size of coronaviruses ranges from approximately 26 to 32 kilobases, the largest for the NRA virus. The name coronavirus is derived from the Latin corona, meaning crown or halo, which refers to the characteristic appearance of the virus particles. They have a fringe reminiscent of a crown or a solar corona. So the particles, they're also known as virons. If you look at the picture on Wikipedia here, they kind of look like a baby jellyfish, sorta. Meets the sun. And the picture's in black and white. Maybe it was taken a long time ago. I'm not stupid. I know it's under a microscope, guys. Relax. But again, the dictionary would really help. The point is, I don't know anything about this virus. I don't know where the fuck it's coming from. I know it's coming from China. I get that. But I mean, I don't know how it was created. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go on to the 2019-20 Wuhan coronavirus outbreak page. Let's see if we can get some help here. Here we go. An epidemic of a novel coronavirus, 2019-N capital C O capital V, no idea what that means, don't ask me, is affecting mainland China, along with isolated cases in 28 other countries and territories. It was identified in Wuhan, the capital of China's Hebei province, after 41 people developed pneumonia without a clear cause. The virus, which causes 2019 nCoV, acute respiratory disease, is capable of spreading from person to person. The incubated period, time from exposure to onset symptoms, ranges from 2 to 14 days, but it may be contagious during this period and after recovery. Symptoms include fever, coughing, and breathing difficulties. I thought when I was going to read that, it was one of those commercials, like late at night. It may cause death, doing this, doing that, your ass is going to explode, whatever. All right. An estimate of the death rate in February 2020 was 2% of confirmed cases, higher among those who require admission to hospital. As of early February 2020, there was no vaccine and no specific treatment, although several vaccine approaches and antivirals are being investigated. Well, thank God. I mean, I haven't heard anything yet. I mean, the last couple of weeks, like I said, you watch the news. I don't know, everyone's, just covering up their face, just in case there. I haven't heard anything yet, but time will tell. As of the 9th of February 2020, 37,603 cases have been confirmed, 6,198 serious, including in every province level division of China. A larger number of people may have been infected, but not detected, especially mild cases. As of the 9th of February 2020, 813 deaths have been attributed to the virus since the first confirmed death on the 9th of January, with 2,688 recoveries. The first local transmission outside China occurred in Vietnam between family members, while the first local transmission not involving family occurred in Germany on January 22nd, when a German man contracted the disease from a Chinese business visitor at a meeting. The first death outside China was reported in the Philippines, where a 44-year-old male from Wuhan died on February 1st, 2020. Okay, well, first off, nobody plans on going into a business meeting and, getting infected with a horrible virus. It mentioned the SARS virus before. I remember after 9/11 happened, this was a huge deal. But then, I don't know, it just sort of went away. I mean, obviously, it's still around. People forget that, and people just assume, we don't hear about something, it's gone. It's still here, guys. Okay? Again, how the fuck does it happen? I don't know. The point is, just be aware that, just because you don't hear of something, it's still around. So anyways, in China and around the world, public health authorities are trying to contain the spread of the outbreak. The government of China has introduced travel restrictions and outdoor restrictions requiring families to stay at home, affecting over 170 million people. A number of countries have issued warnings against travel to Wuhan, Hubei. I don't know if I'm saying that right, guys. Sorry. Hubei. Hubei. And China generally. Travelers who have visited mainland China have been asked to monitor their health for at least 2 weeks. Anyone who suspects they are carrying the virus is advised to wear a protective mask and seek medical advice by calling a doctor rather than directly visiting a clinic in person. Oh, that's more great news. Okay, so basically what you're telling me is when I see these people out there, I don't know if they have it. I don't know if they're protecting themselves, from whatever people. Because let's be honest, sometimes you do go out there and you see people wear these masks anyway. You're seeing it more often now. Okay, that's not going to make people more paranoid. Anyways, airports and train stations have implemented temperature checks, health declarations, and information age in an attempt to identify carriers of the virus. Many Lunar New Year events and tourist attractions have been closed to prevent mass gatherings, including the Forbidden City of Beijing and the traditional temple fairs. In 24 of China's 31 provinces, municipalities, and regions, authorities announced that the New Year's holiday is extended to the 10th of February, 2020, instructing most workplaces not to reopen until that date. These regions represent 80% of the country's GDP and 90% of exports. Whew. Wow, that's... Guys, you got to understand this. I mean, China's pretty big. I don't even know how the fuck they're going to function, but that's crazy. Anyways, Hong Kong raised its infectious disease response level to the highest and declared an emergency, closing schools until March and canceling its New Year celebrations. Fuck, man, that sucks. Oh, man. Listen, guys, I don't know much about the world. I know here and there, I've heard that Marlon Brando, he bought his own island one day in Tahiti, and he loved it there. It was paradise. What I'm trying to say is, I know certain places aren't like that, and China is definitely not one of them. I'm told it's a third world country. It's people work their asses off there. So for something like this to happen, it's just basically, the country's closed. Until March here. So, and I know they always celebrate their New Year's late, and this really sucks, man. Wow, yeah, my heart goes out to these guys for sure. The outbreak has been declared a public health emergency of international concern, PHEIC, by the World Health Organization, WHO, based on the possible effects the virus could have if it spreads to countries with weaker healthcare systems. The declaration was the sixth time that the measure has been invoked since the H1N1 pandemic in 2009. Xenophobia and racism against people of Chinese and East Asian descent has arisen as a result of the outbreak, with fear and hostility occurring in several countries. Misinformation spread primarily online about the coronavirus has led to WHO to declare an infodemic on February 2nd, 2020. Okay. So guys, this goes without saying. Okay. I know I have a lot of fun on this podcast. I want to do a podcast one day on the PC culture without basically not destroying my life. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll just say, fuck it. For now, I'm just playing it safe. But all I'm saying is, just because, there's a virus coming from China, it doesn't mean, that Chinese people are diseased or, you shouldn't still hang with them and touch them and, just relax, guys. You know what I mean? Just relax. Okay? A lot of people that know me know it, this is coming from me. So what I'm trying to say is just, don't freak out. Okay? It's a very rich culture, okay? The Chinese. And, these guys work their asses off, like I said. Okay? People that live in Canada, the States, let's just be honest, we have no idea how good we have it. Okay? Chances are if it says made in Canada or the United States, the product probably sucks. If it's made in China, there's no worries. Okay? I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Okay? So it sucks that these guys have to go through all this shit and it affects a lot of us overseas here. So my main concern is, will there ever be a cure for this? And how soon can we actually get it? Now I found something here on the New York Times. It says here, the need is urgent. There are no approved treatments or illnesses caused by coronavirus. Okay, we already knew that, but when the fuck are we going to get something here? And it said here on Thursday, China began enrolling patients in a clinic trial of remdesivir, an antiviral medicine made by Gilead, an American pharmaceutical giant. The drug has to be given intravenously, is experimental and not yet approved for any use, and has not been studied in patients with any coronavirus disease. But studies of infected mice and monkeys have suggested that remdesivir can fight coronavirus, and it appears to be safe. It was tested without ill effects in Ebola patients, although it did not work well against that virus, which is a different family from coronavirus. Well, there you go. Time will tell, I guess, guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'm going off topic here, but is it just me, or does it seem like, I don't know, ever since the year 2000, I don't know, we're dealing with a lot of shit. I don't know. A lot of disasters, natural disasters, diseases, I get it. Like, we dealt with shit before, but I don't know. Is this a coincidence? I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to sound nuts, or more nuts than I usually do. But again, with any cure to any virus, just has to be tested. So, yeah, time will tell. I just saw a picture of a woman here in a supermarket on CNN. And it says here, shopper walks past empty shelves at a grocery store in Hong Kong on Sunday, February 9th, 2020. I mean, this is just a really sad picture. Even the government here is, telling these supermarkets, look, just stock your shelves, man. Like, don't be afraid to, whatever. This is just really sad, guys. I gotta be honest with you. Like, I pretty much covered all I can find here. Like I said, I wish I could tell you more. I wish I could tell you, look, a virus is gonna be here next week. I think we've all been waiting for that magical pill that cures cancer. But anyways, I gotta be honest with you. Like a lot of this, I blame on the news. Now, I get it. You go on the news and like the first story you hear is basically the biggest thing that's going on, and maybe the country that you're watching it in or the world. But I mean, can you guys do me a favor? Can you not like freak people out over this? And like I get it. Like we're losing people because of this. Like I completely understand that, but you know the news has just a really bad habit of just making things look just way worse than they are. And again, this is a very serious subject. You know, because like I said before, I mean, you're walking down the street one day and you think to yourself, like, okay, is this person going to infect me, or And again, it causes some form of racism. You're thinking, oh, all these like Chinese people are infected, and how long are they going to be infected for? And like, oh, if I'm stuck in an elevator with him or her one day, is it gonna affect me? Am I gonna die right there? It just sucks. Like nobody wins in this situation. Nobody. So if the news could just do me a favor and everybody else a favor, just cover the facts. Unless you have every single fact there, please make sure that it's all legit. And I get it. You repeating the same story every day for a week, it's not going to help things either. Okay, so until we find some serious cures for this, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to hear about it. Like I really don't. Obviously I do want to hear about like if it's spreading or stuff like that. But I'm not trying to sound like a dick or nothing. But I mean, it just you're putting people in more panic than they have to. I don't know if people are doing this for ratings or whatever, but and I do get that people do have to know about the news, and have their updates, which is fine, but stop scaring the shit out of people. Okay, it's not right. Okay, it's like everything else in this life. Okay, we just have to keep going with our lives. It sucks, but it's what we got to do. Now I can tell you guys, usually when I do a podcast, you got to watch out for this. Learn from my stupid stories or my dating profile, whatever. For this, I got nothing for you. I mean, the only thing I can find here is some of the causes that cause this virus. So it says here, all coronaviruses sport spikely projections on their outer surfaces that resemble the points of a crown, or corona in Latin, like I said before, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. 7 known coronaviruses can infect humans, including the novel coronavirus identified in 2019. Obviously. Beneath a coronavirus's prolonged exterior lies a round core shrouded in proteins and a greasy membrane. Jan Carrette, an associate professor of microbiology and immunology at Stratford University School of Medicine, told Live Science in an email. The core contains genetic material that the virus can inject into vulnerable cells to infect them. So-called spike proteins extend from within the core to the viral surface and allow the virus to recognize and latch onto specific cells in the body, Carrette says. When the spike engages its receptor on a host cell, a cascade is triggered, resulting in the merger of the virus with the cell, he added. This merger allows the virus to release its genetic material and hijack the cell's internal machinery. Once this happens, the virus sheds a coat and turns the cell into a factory that starts churning out new viruses. Listen, I'm no scientist or nothing, but you're basically just telling me once it touches you, that's it. You're infected. I mean, it's basically like anything else. Yeah, this sucks, man. I mean, honestly, I don't. Again, I don't know where this is coming from. Okay, you know, sometimes when you're chilling in the winter, you get the flu, you get the cold, you get some medicine for that. There's a cure for that. They say it's cough syrup, but that's just bullshit. I don't know. It's just liquid sugar. You just got to rest it off. Eventually, you get better. Maybe you get some strong meds. Worst case, you're fine. This one, you know, like I said, they're still literally working out all the bugs. And yeah, we just we got to wait it out. It sucks, you know. It sucks. It really does, you know. And yeah, like I said before, I don't know, who's ever selling all these masks are probably making a killing. I mean, everyone's all paranoid now. I mean, like I said before, remember when 9/11 happened, like everyone was buying these gas masks for like $200 or something. I mean, you know, I get it, guys. You know, we got to be aware, but shit, like just, you know, don't get ripped off at the same time either, you know? So, yeah. Best advice I can give you is just go to your doctor. I have a very cool doctor. You know, I go in there, he sees me, he laughs, you know, he knows I'm going to say something funny. I mean, does he actually listen to this podcast? I don't know. Maybe he's already judging me before I go in there. But, you know, I just ask him straight up. I like to go to the source. You know, again, I'm not doubting Wikipedia. I do like Wikipedia. Obviously, I use it. I use the Google. You know, I do what I got to do. But, you know, everything online, if you could actually believe this, is not 100% accurate. So my best advice to anybody out there, if you have any questions about this, go to your doctor. Okay? It's January, February, March. You know, these are the this is the heart of winter. You know, these are days that we're going to have to face, you know, minus 30 something weather. It obviously is nothing compared to this virus. But just go in there, ask him a bunch of questions, and I'm sure he'll have the answers. You know, I'm sure he's only hearing it every 5 minutes. So, you know, and again, if you're out there on the street and if you see somebody with a mask on, you know, Chinese, whites, black, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, don't freak out, you know. We've seen people with masks before, okay? Just relax. There's no reason to flip out, okay? Everybody here is seeing all the Avenger movies, okay? We're all used to seeing people in masks and makeup and all this shit, okay? I get it, it's a joke. I'm trying to make light of this. I'm just saying, don't freak out, okay? You know, don't treat someone different. Don't treat them, you know, like they're shit just because, you know, they're wearing a mask, you know. We'll get through this, okay? Diseases will always be out there. I mean, there's something, you know, we're just always going to have to deal with as a society, you know. And I said it before and I'll say it again, but it still sucks that such a delicious drink and one of the few beers I actually enjoy drinking is connected with this fucking shit, you know. And I get it, it's a ring, you know, whatever, fuck, who cares? I'm just saying, you know, we will get through this. Don't worry. Okay? But just do your research and actually get research from someone who actually knows something, you know, like a doctor, like a real doctor that you see in person. Okay? So again, let's review. This is a very serious virus. If you see someone with a mask, don't freak out. Okay? Just relax. They're human, just like us. Okay? If anything, this is the time where everybody on Earth comes together, okay? And we help each other. So, we will get through this. Be patient. And do whatever you can to find out as much information as you can. And God bless all the people out there that have been affected by this, and hopefully we will find a cure very soon for the coronavirus.